Empty. Yes, the FN 509, and this is Hickok 45. Let me put that one in my holster, and I'll just hold this one. I'm sorry, I've got a few off the bullseye, but that's a... Who put a radio? John, did you do that? Look at this. We're not going to shoot my radio. We're not going to shoot my radio. This one's empty, so I'll stick it in my back belt. What a turkey. What a turkey. We're going to shoot the watermelon, John, not my radio. Not my radio. There we go. That was not funny, John. Oh, man. I mean, that's a classic. You can't even find a boombox anymore. Look at that. We'll just put that over here. So, yeah, we're going to shoot the 509s, and I'm going to talk about them, tell you all I know about them, which is not much, but at least I can give you my impressions of them. Right? And speaking of that, this grew out of basically the, well, several things. It's patterned after the FNS compact, as I understand. That's what they started with. And they were creating their submission, FN was, for the Army, the modular handgun system, contract. Like everybody, almost, that makes these sorts of handguns, they would love to have a military contract. The military contract on the sidearms, as SIG, ended up with in the P320. Well, we're the benefactors of all the competition. Yes, the competition is great, right? It's what makes this country great. Not perfect, but great. All these companies vying for that adoption, that huge adoption, just like companies are vying for you to go buy their hamburger or their chicken sandwich or whatever. And so they did their best. Several companies did, and FN was one of them. And of course, FN has had a lot of military contracts, U.S. contracts. They make great firearms, as we all know. And so they submitted this one, and it grew out of that compact. They made some changes to it, and this is it, the 509s. I understand, and from my reading, they supposedly fired 1 million rounds in the testing and all that, and made some changes to it. And we're going to take some shots with it. We got a couple of them here. I'll tell you about that too. But this is the one that'll go back to E-Gunner. I keep the serial numbers straight in my meager mind there, the 256. So I'll shoot it the most. But you notice right away that it might be a little bigger than the FNS, the compact. Well, I don't have one to compare it with. I think the slide length is not all that different probably, but the grip is a little bigger. And that's why I have some other handguns out here we'll do a little comparison with, okay? But first of all, let's take a shot. I grabbed this thing. You might have seen the Facebook posting. I posted a picture of it and just mentioned that I saw it at the NRA meeting at the FN booth and that I liked the feel of it, and I did. So we requested one as soon as we got back so I could blast some targets with it. Wait a minute. There we go. I was holding in the wrong place. Woo! It feels good. It felt good to me in the FN booth, very good. And I'll shoot some Syntec here, 115 grain ammo. What should we shoot? Well, let's shoot the stop sign a little bit. Maybe the tombstone. It feels pretty good in either hand, which means it might be ambidextrous, right? And that it is. So we have all of our mags back? Yes, we do. We have, yeah, all of our mags. Okay, that's the nice thing about having two of them. They have 4 mags. Comes with 2 mags. Speaking of ambi, it is has an ambi slide lock release. And I think it's so stiff as a new gun. I don't like to drop it on an empty mag, but I will. Or no mag. I have a little trouble dropping it with the left hand. Yeah, if you're a lefty, you'll have some trouble with that. It's hard to drop. So it's not lefty or an ambi slide release. It's an ambi slide lock more so right now, unless it's just the newness of it. Needs some more wear. I've been shooting it for a few days, and a couple of days actually, and enjoying it, and you know, and seeing what I think about it. It has metal sights, the 3-dot luminescent dots on there. They definitely work. You got lots of serrations there, front and rear. And like I say, it's ambi, your slide, your mag release is on both sides, and it does work on both sides. Breaks down kind of like a SIG, you know, typical, and which is I like. You lock it back, pull the lever down, pull the trigger, and there you go. Not too unusual, right? And that's really what I want. I want something that's not too unusual, because some breakdowns are a little unusual. And you know, it does look like a lot of the polymer striker fired pistols that you're used to. Got a big old, I guess you call that external extractor, big extractor there. And you know, you got a crown on the barrel there, kind of a target crown, to help you from damaging the rifling there. It's kind of nice. Okay, 9x19 of all things. And it feels good. It feels like quality, and you expect that from SIG, right? Captured spring there, doubled up, and it slides back the same way. You got some pretty good sized rails there. You know, it's hefty. You know, metal on metal, and looks pretty common in a lot of ways, doesn't it? Looks kind of familiar. Okay, let's put that back together. Lock it up. That's all there is to that. Okay, the grip is one of the biggest differences, I think, between this and a lot of other polymer pistols. You know, and if you don't like polymer pistols, you know, why are you still watching? No, big market for polymer pistols these days, because so many people are looking for one that fits them, that they shoot well, and that feels good in the hand, because some of them just don't feel that good in the hand. You know, the Glock has its problems. I've got a couple out here just for size comparison, and you know, I have a love-hate relationship with it because of the hump, and it just doesn't fit my hand as well as I'd like it. And I Frankenstein them up and everything else because I like them otherwise, other than that. Well, when I picked this one up, I thought, oh man, it just, the hump, and it has the medium backstrap on it, but it just fits my hand like a glove. It feels good. It feels like I'd like a Glock to feel when I pick it up. And the sights jump out at you. And there's something about it, when you pick it up and just shoot it quick with one hand or two hands. I guess it's the grip, it's the trigger, it's everything about it, the ergonomics of it. I noticed when I brought this in and started shooting it yesterday or the day before, that I tended not to, you know, we all have to focus on not shooting low left, right, for a right-handed. That's kind of a tendency, and we overcome it, we work on it constantly. I don't know, this firearm is, it makes that simpler. You don't have to focus on that as much, for me at least. Now it could be because my hands are large. You always have to factor that in. Okay, so let me load a mag while I'm yakking a little bit here. Get some ammo over here. Oh, let's load some hollow points, you know, because I'm bad about forgetting to do that. So yeah, this was pretty much the submission. I think there's a few changes for the commercial market, but it was basically the submission, you know, for the military trials. And they do a lot of testing. As I understand it, did very well. And of course, you never get all the specifics of those trials, and you get a lot of rumors and a lot of that about why you know, one company wins over another, and you're never totally sure. Is it price? Is it performance of the firearm? You know, the supplier, politics. You just, you know, can never know for sure. You cannot assume always that the best gun won, right? Whether it's a police adoption in your county or your state, or it's a military adoption. Yeah, it's. Oh, that watermelon's getting away. Okay, he stopped. We'll get him. It could be a lot of things. Well, I just kept loading those, didn't I? Well, let's go ahead and shoot the hollow points. And since the watermelon tried to get away, let's just show him that never works. All right. No, it wasn't going to explode. Plus, it probably cracked when it fell there. Looks like hollow points work. Let's put one on that smoky pot there. Oh, look at the smoke. That's why I like the smoke pots. That's cool. That's cool. So, as I was saying before I was so rudely interrupted there by Mr. Mellon trying to take off and escape, you never know what's all involved in military adoptions, police adoption, any agency. I mean, generally speaking, they're going to end up with one of the better firearms out there. And I'm not trying to imply that SIG is not the best. They won that adoption. I assume fair and square. It's a good gun. I got one here on the table. I like the 320. But we are the benefactors of all this competition, and we ended up with some pretty nice pistols out here on the commercial market. Like the Beretta APX you just saw us shoot. I like that pistol. So the polymer pistols, I'll have to say, keep getting better. The options that we have, they really do. And if you're going to make if you're sitting in your basement right now thinking, you know what, I'm going to make a polymer pistol, there's a big market for those. You better do it right. Better get your act together. You better look at the other pistols. Look at what it is that people like about the ones that are out there. Okay, what they're looking for. Do your research. Before you start carving one out of soap or wood or whatever you're going to do there, because the competition is pretty stiff. Very stiff. If I were brand new to firearms today, or at least the polymer pistols, wow, these on the table, it would be a tough choice because they're all good. I got a VP9 there, the SIG P320, the Glock 17, 19, and these. Just a lot of great guns. And so what else about this? The grip is really neat. It's that's one thing I like about it. It just fits my hand well. There's a thinner back strap there, but all sorts of different serrations or carvings on this thing, and they kind of work. They really do. They're not so aggressive they scratch you. I wish they were a little more aggressive, to tell you the truth. I think most people find them just right, but even up here you got a little bit where it thins out there. If you got smaller hands, that's kind of nice. You can lay your thumb in there. You got a little bit of resistance there, friction, and it just feels good on the front strap. It's not just carving up the plastic, and because it looks like it would give you some friction. No, it really does give you some friction. So they've done a good job on that. I like that grip quite a bit. The trigger guard, you notice, is pretty big, and that's nice if you're wearing gloves. Like a lot of you folks in Kentucky, I know you wear mittens most of the winter. That might create a problem, but you could wear some gloves and still get to the trigger on that. And one of the things I like about it, I think, is the trigger. The trigger has, and I'll show you, it has a short reset, but it also has a smooth surface. Let me go ahead and show you. And I know sometimes I'm bad about getting this in the camera angle right, but it's got and of course we're clear. It's got a smooth surface, and I like that. I really do. It feels good. Now, I don't know exactly what it is. It's hard to explain sometimes what actually appeals to you so much about the ergonomics of a pistol. Sometimes maybe it's unexplainable. You just don't know. It's a combination of things. A gun just feels good to you, but there's something about the way my finger uses a trigger. It just feels good. However I touch the trigger, whether it's with a pad or I reach through with my long fingers or what, it just feels good. And then the reset is very short. I'm going to pull the trigger. It's click. So you got a short reset right there. That's always nice. Generally most people prefer a short reset. It just feels good. I don't know. There's no finger pinch involved at all. There's none of that stuff I get with some firearms, even with some Glocks, where my finger hurts when I shoot after a mag or two. Pinching or whatever happens there, kind of that weird thing that can happen with the people. And I hear from a lot of people that have that same experience with some firearms. So the trigger is one of the pluses. Okay. Negatives, I think it's a little heavier than the Glock 17. Let me put the 17 over here. The 17 weighs about 26 ounces, and this gun weighs about 26 and a half or 3/4. So it's a little heavier than the 17, but essentially not much, about the same. And you notice the length, the grip, same as the 17 essentially. Okay, same length, but the slide is the same as a 19. Just happen to have one of those. So we got a Glock 17 size grip, and again, I'm not going to, you know, make people mad talking about Glock. Most people know a 17 and a 19 Glock, if you hate them. So you got the grip the same length, and then you see you got a shorter Glock 19 grip, but the slides are about the same. All right, so that's kind of where it fits size-wise. Thickness, it's just a tad thicker, I think, than a Glock 9mm or 40, just a little bit. And that's kind of a plus, even though it's a little thicker, because a lot of these pistols, like these newer pistols, even some of the most popular ones, they have a thick slide. They build them so that they can start with, or that they'll handle a 45 or a 40 with no trouble at all. And if you're shooting a 9, you got this massive slide that really is not needed. And I guess that's one attraction to Glocks, is they started with a 9 for years, all they had, and then they chambered it for a 40, so they weren't thinking, we'll build this to fit all the 3 most popular cartridges. And people criticize them for putting a 40 and a 9mm slide and all that, but you end up with a thinner slide on a 9. So, but this is close, very close, and it's attractive because it's not a big old thick slide. That's another plus for me. Okay, you know me, I like a thinner slide if I can get it. All right, let's load that mag before we shoot anymore. Oh yeah, what else was I going to tell you about that's probably not true? Oh gosh, I think they did a lot of testing and been working on it a long time, and they got the information out to several companies. So already there are, I think there's aftermarket triggers from Apex, maybe it is, and I think Brinks has already adopted it. You know, the security people, so you know their agents are actually carrying the thing, or going to be. So you know, the thing is out there. There's going to be parts for it, and that's not always true for some pistols when you introduce a new pistol onto the market. The dovetail on the sights, I read, unlike, you know, some firearms, even from FN, it's a more common dovetail, and you can find sights right away for it. If you want to change out the sights, the night sights, or whatever, I think, don't quote me, but I think SIG sights and XDE sights will fit, but you can look around and make sure. So you could change the sights out on it if you wanted to, I guess, just right away. All right. So again, for me, the first thing that attracted me was just the ergonomics. It just feels good, and that's always important. All right. And even though you might not shoot it well. Now, when I first brought it out here the other day, I just picked it up and I was hitting the red plate, and I was hitting like whatever I wanted to hit without having to concentrate, it seemed like. And so the fact that it just felt good to me translated into the shooting of it. Now today, maybe I don't shoot as well or whatever, but it really feels good to me, and I tend to shoot it well. I might not today. We'll see. All right, we'll shoot some more. Got 4 mags. That's the advantage of having 2 guns, right? All right, let's make it hot. Put it back. By the way, this holster, again, to confirm, you know, most of the time if I have one of these, and again, I'm not picking on other companies, but a lot of the other companies, that firearms that I like and you like and that shoot really well, PPQ, some different things, they won't fit in a Glock 19 holster. Okay, they won't even come close. And so this gun fits in a Glock 19, Glock 17 holster. This is a stealth gear holster. Fits in it fine. So now it won't fit in every Glock 19 holster. I tried it in like a Phobos. Some of them that are contoured to, you know, for an exact fit, it comes very close and you could force it in okay. But it fits in. This one has a little bit of flexibility, so it fits fine. All right, let's we got some things that need to be shot. We sure do. Yeah. Like I said, I may not shoot it well. I think I'm shooting a little bit low today. That was nice. That was nice. Let's try the other one. Oh man, you're funny. All right, put another mag in. Release the slide. There we go. I'm gonna focus on the top of that stop sign. I'm gonna remind myself where to hold. Okay, just a little bit below point of aim, not much, just a little bit. So that might explain why I'm shooting a little bit low if I'm not careful. I think I'm about out. So let's put another mag in and go across the hill. I'm gonna try the red plate. Got him, I think. Okay, let's go to the gonger. Felt good. Felt good. Let's come back here, hit a plate. And we're out of ammo. No, I've got some more over here. Good, a little bit. Let me try the plate. That'll tell me where to hold for sure. Okay, I think I know. That reset's really nice when you're shooting things like that. Boom, boom. Just feels good. Feels really good. Again, we appreciate Bud's, you know, borrowing this from Bud's so it can go back to E-Gunner. And why do I have two of them? The reason is I shot this for a day or two and couldn't get it out of my mind from the NRA meeting. And I decided I wanted one, and I bought one, ordered it. So it just came today. This one did, right here. Okay, so that worked out great because I had extra magazines. I'll load a couple while I'm talking. And it's kind of rare that I do that, but you know, I've got that SIG, I've got that VP9 out there. You know, that's crazy. I have those and they're okay, but they're not my favorite guns necessarily at all. And I like this one. I really do. I'm just gonna have one of my own because I know what's gonna happen. This is the E-Gunner one. I'm not gonna want to send it back. You know, but I have to. It goes back for the E-Gunner auction and Second Harvest Food Bank and all that. And one of you will end up with it. And I'm gonna be crying. I'm gonna be home crying that I had to give up that nice polymer pistol that I like about as well as my Glocks, okay? And maybe better, I don't know. I'll shoot some more to determine that, but I do like it. So I had to have one, and so I just bought it, right? And plus I knew I'd want to do some dual wielding, you know, in my life, okay? So let's shoot it a little more. Let's see, now this is mine. Let's see if it works. I shot one magazine through it, I guess, or then I shot whatever I shot in the video too. All right, and the interesting thing about it is, this is the other one, this is mine. It also fits in this holster. Let's put it hot. Isn't that amazing? It fits in there too. So what do you know? What do you know? Fits your hand well, I'll have to say. You folks with large hands, you'll like this. Let's try a pig. Okay. Pigs and turkeys for dinner. And speaking of offhand stuff, you know, you have it's totally empty there. You can see you have the sights, so that if you need to, you find yourself with one arm, then you can put it on your belt, rack the slide without any trouble. You got a really good hook there, okay? And that's kind of important to some people. They like that. So I gotta load one more, can I? All right. I love to shoot. I can shoot mine anytime. I'll shoot this one. Wear it out for somebody. How's that? And these things are hard to wear out. Again, they test them extensively, and you know, you end up with a pretty reliable firearm. I see comments sometimes. People will leave a comment on a video about you know, a dyed-in-the-wool 1911 person or whatever, that, yeah, well, 1911 is still going strong after 100 years. What's that plastic pistol going to be in 100 years or 50 years and everything? Truth be told, you know, these things may outlast a metal gun. You know, polymer doesn't exactly wear out very easily. And so that's really not a valid, I think, criticism or excuse. You know, I'm not taking sides. I like both types of firearms. But, you know, just because they have a polymer frame, they're not going to fall apart. Okay. And one thing you might notice too, the main firearm I wanted to get a hold of for this video was this Mauser, the C96, because I want to do some comparison there. We'll probably do 3 or 4, a series of videos comparing the Mauser C96 with, you know, the FN 509. I've had a lot of requests to do that. I'm not sure why all of you want to see us compare it with the Mauser C96, but, you know, okay, we'll do it. So, you know, I spent, what, I guess it was $6,000 to buy that just so I could do a comparison, you know, video. How many of you believe that? No, that's, you'll see that. That's a loaner from a viewer locally. That's a beautiful fire. We had it out, so we couldn't resist. You know, pulling your leg a little bit like we tend to do. Get away from me, flea, bug, whatever you are. So, I don't know, the 509, to me, it's a good looking pistol. It feels great. I like the way it shoots. I'm pretty fond of it, and I don't think I'll change my mind, but I might. I was confident enough to purchase one, and I guess that says a lot. Now, as far as negatives, though, trying to be objective about it, you know, again, we don't have a dog in any of the fights. You know, it doesn't matter whether it's an FN or a PPQ, a Springfield, or whatever it might be, a Glock. You know, I have a slight preference for Glocks, but I like this a lot. I remember the compact FNS. Thinking, I may have said it in a video, that, boy, that thing, that could come close to replacing my beloved Glock. I liked it. So it makes sense, I guess, that this gun that kind of grew from that, I would have a similar feeling. Now, as a carry gun, I don't think I like the feel so much because it's got a long grip, because that usually doesn't impress me. A firearm with a short grip feels just as good, because I don't really get my little finger into it. So as far as a negative, yeah, I just soon have the compact version, which I think they're going to come out with. I don't know when that'll be, just like the VP9 is out now, I think, in the SK version, the compact version. And they'll do the same with this, I'm sure. The slide may not change any, but that slide's fine, the Glock 19 size slide. But I would like a shorter, you know, grip. And this thing holds 17 the way it is, so you know, they can get a 15 round mag, that ain't trouble. A little bit shorter grip would be just fine. It's going to feel just as good to me. So as far as the ultimate firearm, that is one of the negatives, but I liked it enough even with the bigger grip to carry it, because if I'm going to carry a big gun and a holster it, you know, I can live with it. I can live with that, I think. We'll see. So that's one negative. That could be a little shorter for my ideal carry gun. But it's got so many positives. I like that trigger guard. You know, again, no trigger bite of any kind. That smooth trigger. I think it has a nice break. Some people think it's too heavy. It says it has a break of the weight on the trigger, like from 4.5 to 7.5 pounds or something like that. What a range! But it feels good to me. Feels good. They run for about $650, but you'll be able to buy them for about $5.5. Okay. As far as any other specifics, like I said, it weighs about 26 ounces, 26.5, 26 3/4, so it's a little bit heavier than a Glock 17. But it's just, I think it's a nice looking pistol is what I was about to say too, on top of that, but that's not obviously a priority. But yeah, I think it looks good. Some people criticize it for being too busy. I don't know, I don't think it's a problem. It looks just fine. It seems accurate. I just need to work with it more. And I'm going to do that right now with 2 more magazines. I read something where somebody was talking about shooting it and from a pistol, resting their hands or whatever. And the best they could get was a 2-inch group or 3-inch group or something, 20. And weren't impressed with the accuracy of the firearm. Well, you've seen our video on accuracy. That's meaningless to me. That means nothing. If you tell me that you got a such and such group with this gun and a different group with that gun, and even if you were resting your hands on a sandbag on a bench, that doesn't mean a lot to me at all. For one thing, it's one firearm, that specific one you had, and plus it's you shooting. I don't know how good you are, you know. You'd have to have them in a ransom rest, maybe about 4 of them before I would take notice, and unless you're getting like groups 3 feet wide or something. But if you put a bunch of these in a ransom rest, you get about 6 of these. You put them in a ransom rest, which is like a vise if you don't know, and you shoot them on paper with 5 or 6 different types of ammo. And then you want to talk about the groups you got. Okay, I'm interested in that. Okay, still, if the difference is 2 inches and 2.5 and all that sort of thing, it doesn't make much difference, because if you're standing and shooting, which you're probably going to be doing, let me get this out of the magazine, in a defensive handgun, it just is not that big a deal. All right, let's take a couple more shots. Let's go from the holster. And oh man, I don't know, seems like I've shot too many things there. A little more pot smoking. All right, I got that sight figured out, I think. Yeah, I was holding a little bit too low on both of them. Oh, my last round. Watch me throw it on the ground. Oh, no, how horrible. Feels good. I'll tell you one thing I want to do, I didn't do, is try a little machine gunning, okay? And I don't guess I've done that. Occasionally we like to do that in the barrel. I'll load 1 more magazine. I know some of you, you're on the edge of your chair trying to get to dinner. Here I am, I keep yakking and I keep shooting. And you hate polymer pistols. Just kidding. We appreciate y'all being here. We know you enjoy these old guns, whatever it is. You know, there's hardly any gun I don't enjoy shooting as long as it functions. And then some I enjoy more than others. Some I like enough to even buy one for myself. I have the disease pretty bad. I have the addiction pretty badly. Y'all know that by now. All right. Let's just try the trigger reset again. Let's go for the holster again, because I think the barrel is presenting a threat. And I've not done anything to that barrel. I'm not, I don't deserve to be threatened by that barrel. Okay. Well, that wasn't too fast, but it felt good. I felt like I had control of the pistol. And the barrel is no longer a threat. That's the most important thing. So I guess I've shot enough. And there's probably some things I forgot to mention about it. Again, there's more detailed information out there. I'd like to give you our impression. John likes it too. I don't know if he's smitten with it, as I am, but he likes it. It feels good to him. So maybe it's just a big hand issue. I don't know, but it's something to think about. If you're 6'8" or 6'5" or 6'3", it might feel really good to you as well. And I guess the fact that it's one of those that had to go through the rigorous testing, for the modular handgun system, testing that the U.S. Army put all these firearms through, knowing they did their very best to build a pistol that would pass that. So there's no messing around. Sometimes, when a new pistol comes out, rifle or whatever, from a company, All right, they just got together. Some of them got a wild hair in the marketing room or in the designs. Hey, you know what? I think something like this would sell. Well, let's put that together. Does it work? Yeah, let's go out and tell. Yeah, it works. Let's sell it. Yeah. Sometimes you get the impression things come out pretty quickly, without a whole lot of planning, forethought, maybe. Not a lot of focus groups. That's one of my criticisms. There's some firearms out there that I have used that line several times. It's like they just built it and didn't even put it in a shooter's hand and say, what do you all think about this? You know, because it would have been rejected by anybody with experience, you know, shooting. So occasionally you see one like that, but you just kind of figure, even if you don't like the feel of a gun like this, you know, or the SIG P320, you know they went through rigorous testing, and in the design they were trying to make the very best pistol they could, because knowing how it's going to be tested, and you know, so it helps you sleep at night a little bit, I guess. So anyway, FN's has a reputation for making good firearms, so they ought to be able to build a good one. Again, the grip's a little long, maybe for me, but you know, there's not a lot about it I don't like. So I confess, I like this pistol. Life is good.
Well, I hope you guys enjoyed that, because I know I sure did. While I've got you here, I wanted to let you guys know about our friends over at SDI, the Sonoran Desert Institute. They are a fully accredited online distance learning program where you can be certified in gunsmithing, and you can also get an associate's degree in firearms technology. And they also do a lot of work with veterans. They accept the GI Bill. They also have hands-on experience, even though it's a distance learning program. So just wanted to let you guys know about them. Also, you can find them at sdi.edu. That's the Sonoran Desert Institute. And also, just want to let you guys know we have merchandise now. So if you want to buy any Hickok 45 merchandise, you can go over to our store. The link is in the description of every video. And there's also a link kind of on the header of the main channel page, the main YouTube channel. And so we've got that. And also, if you want to find more of our content in other places, it's everywhere. You can go to full30.com. We have most or all of our videos over there. You can also find us on Facebook, Hickok 45 Facebook. You can find Hickok 45 on Instagram. I think it's the real Hickok 45 over there. And then also on Twitter is Hickok 45. And then me, the son, John Hickok, you can find me at Hickok 45 and Son on YouTube. I also do a podcast called Gun Culture Radio, which you can find on that YouTube channel and also on iTunes. And there's also a John Hickok Facebook page, which you can find the link to on the Hickok 45 and Son channel page. There's a link over there. And that's all I can think of for now. That's a lot to digest. So you're going to want to think about that for a little bit and then watch one of these other videos that's like down there or over there somewhere, because some of these look pretty good.